Take this tool out of your trunk where the tire tools are, where the jack is. Just grab these caps, slide them off if you have them. And then if you have a wheel lock, use the wheel lock key that's also in the trunk. Take a 17mm socket, take these lug bolts out. When you get to the last one, hold the tire on so it doesn't fall. Take the bolt out, and then grab the tire and slide it off. Use a 24mm 12-point socket, take this bolt out. I'll just thread this in a couple threads. Just give it a tap, just to loosen the axle up. Take these 3 nuts off, use a 16mm socket. And I can separate this. Just slide that out. And slide the axle out. Twist it to the side there. We were having some trouble with this axle coming out. It's really not popping out because of the C-clip. We did remove some more stuff. Normally you wouldn't have to remove all of this just to get in there. And then we have a CV fork in there. We dropped this cradle down, disconnecting the bolts for the steering rack, and then disconnecting the bolts that hold the cradle in. And we happen to have the lower control arm out. And now we can pop this in. Just try to pop the axle out. All right, so just a little bit of force and we were able to get it to pop. And it just slides out just like that. That's the ring that we're having trouble with. So you just pry behind there. Sometimes if you have something to pry on the top of it and then a pry bar on the bottom, might be able to get it to pop. There you go. Now slide the new axle into place. Pretty much the same way it came out. If you want to put a little grease on the end of here to make it go on a little easier, it's a good idea. Try to get this to line up. Sometimes if you spin it a little bit, it makes it easier. And just take a rubber mallet if you need to. Just try to tap it in. That looks like that's all the way in. You can always double check, just make sure it's not going to slide out. And that seems good. Now we can slide this end into the back of the wheel hub. You might have to twist that as well. There we go. For the passenger side, it's a lot more open. If you have one of these forks, you can get right in there. You don't have to move that cradle at all. Flip it around. Or even a pry bar, and hopefully you'll be able to pop that out. Other than that, the rest of the procedure is the same. I'll line up the lower ball joint and put the nuts on. Now torque these nuts to 44 foot-pounds. And put the new bolt in. I'm going to put a couple of the lug studs in. Then we can take a pry bar, prevent the hub from spinning. And torque this nut to 52 foot-pounds. And then if you have a torque angle meter, use a torque angle meter and then go an additional 90 degrees. If not, do the best you can. Now reinstall the wheel. Put the lug bolts in. Now I'm going to torque these lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. Take the wheel lock off and reinstall the caps. Just line them up. Make sure you put your tools back in the trunk. After you've done this job, make sure you bring the vehicle to a local garage and have it aligned to make sure you don't have premature tire wear.